Good morning, Bulldogs. It's Mrs. H again. We are here for the second portion of our service learning presentation for this month for IB. Remember, we are partnering with Well Aware. Our big question for yesterday and today is what is the ripple effect of water use? And again, water is something that we don't really think about. We live in a country that uses water every day. Water is all around us. We have clean water everywhere. And so it's hard for us to imagine what it might be like for someone in another country that does not have access to clean water like we do. A little bit more about WellAware. WellAware is a nonprofit organization. That means that all the money that goes into helping WellAware goes back into their communities. I think it's like 83% of what they take in, other than just for operating expenses, goes into these communities that need help with these water projects. And so here are a couple of pictures of a drill on site in Africa. This is typically what happens when they hit water pockets underneath the ground. Is the water pressure is so great that it just spews up, which is kind of cool. And then once it is settled down a little bit, they're able to tap into it, and then the people are able to get that water. And so they're providing innovative and sustainable solutions to water scarcity and contamination in East Africa. So they're providing clean water in communities where they've never had them. And so these communities that finally have the access to clean water, it gives them so many more opportunities to be able to live and to grow and to thrive in their communities. All right. This is a picture of Sarah Evans. She is the founder of WellAware, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about her and about her journey to start WellAware. And this is Toyota does a series called Mother of Invention. And in this specific episode, this is where they focus on Sarah Evans.
Almost 1 billion people in the world, almost one out of every 7 of us, do not have access to clean drinking water. Without clean water, girls don't go to school. Women have to walk all day to get water. There's no chance for agriculture. There can be no health clinic. Without clean water, there is no prosperity for a community. Water is the beginning and the foundation of anything and everything. WellAware is a nonprofit organization that is providing sustainable, clean water systems in East Africa. I started out in my professional career as a lawyer, and I was recruited to help on a project in Kenya to replace some of the livestock that were dying in this village. And I proposed that we drill a water well to help to mitigate the problem that we were trying to address. There was this one little girl who was following me around in the field when we were drilling, and when we finally hit water and there was water just spewing out of the ground, it was incredible. She was saying to me, Maji Maji, which means water in Swahili. And I picked her up and held her and gave her the water, and she drank it in just one big gulp. It was that trip in that moment that inspired me to drop everything else and work on this work. I had to sell the house, I sold my car, I gave up what had been my life plan up until that point to do this work. I just knew it could work, and I knew it needed to work. Hi, honey. Being a single mom is not easy for anybody. I start to talk to her a couple weeks before I leave and let her know where I'm going, and we look at where mommy's going to be. And we were talking about the water wells and how people don't have water. And she said, "But mommy, I can go too. I have a shovel. I can help you dig." I was doing this work before I had a daughter. I was not on one of our trips because she had just been born. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Just this flood of emotion because I could not imagine not being able to feed my child. I could not imagine wondering whether or not what I was providing for her was going to make her sick. So that was it for me. When we go into new communities, we do see that there's also incredible need for education intervention or agricultural training, gender equality education. But we know that none of that can be done until there is a source of clean water available in the community. We worked in the northern region of Kenya called Isiolo.
My name is Sarah, and we are from Austin, Texas.
Collaboration is so important, be they local government offices, the drilling contractors, the suppliers, and then other NGOs. From the very beginning to the handoff of the water system, it's collaboration every step of the way.
Yay!
We see disease rates drop like almost overnight once we have clean water in a community. So that's the reward.
When Sarah goes to Africa, she embeds herself in the community. She's literally getting in the mud, in the water, in the communities, in the village.
Innovation is very important to the work that we do. We have our finger on the pulse of technology. Oftentimes electricity isn't even available, and solar is the cheapest to install and then is almost maintenance free and is completely cost free for the community. The system should last at least 20 or 30 years. My favorite part of my job is going back into communities to be able to see the changes that are happening. Being a mother of invention, it's a huge honor for me, and I get really excited when I get to be a part of something that will help us spread awareness.
All right. So that is the story of Sarah Evans. She is an amazing woman. These two pictures are actually when they came out to Hernandez. We did this project a few years ago as well. And they came out, Sarah came out, and she had, this is a woman that works with Sarah, and she actually walked for water when she was a little girl. She was raised in Tanzania, Africa. And she had to walk for water. And so it was really, really fun to have both of them here on campus. You can see our cheerleaders, you can see Miss Reiniger here. And so World Water Day is coming up on March 22nd, and we're hoping to be able to get Well Aware here on campus again so that they will be able to help us in our observance of World Water Week. So what kind of projects have they been able to accomplish in Africa? Like Sarah said, she was a lawyer. She was happy with what she was doing, but yet she found that there was this need and there was this calling. And so she went and she proposed the solution, and probably at the time didn't realize that this would become greater than her, that she would be able to start this nonprofit. And if you'll look, they've now helped and served and provided water, permanent water solutions in communities to over 90 communities, which is kind of cool. And they also help at home. You'll notice you'll see Texas here. She also said, by the way, we're from Austin, Texas, which is kind of cool. But whenever there is a situation at home where water is needed, Well Aware is also there to help. So with them, when they go in and they put these, whether it be the wells or they dig or they go in and they fix pumps that maybe were put in by another company and are no longer working, and they get the water flowing in those communities, the disease rates go down by 64%. Education is able to go up by 34% because, like she talked about and others have talked about, the women and children are no longer walking all day for water. Also, education for girls is up 58%. Over 300,000 lives have been transformed because of clean water. And keep in mind here, one $10 donation equals clean water for one person for life. And so more about that will come next month when we talk about our fundraiser. But that's really exciting to me to be able to, with one $10 donation, know that you have provided you'll provided clean water for one person for life. And then this last statistic is what I talked about. 83% of the funds go back in to fund the water projects directly, and that 17% is just to help them with overhead costs to be able to do that. This is the Well Aware model, their business model. Um, and so they provide the technical and environmental expertise. And actually, just this year, they launched an app. So communities, when they turn the water systems over to the communities, they train them on how to run them. But if anything goes wrong, they now have an app. And with that app, communities can log things and let well aware know directly that things are awry, and then they can come out and they can fix them. And so they measure the impact on the community. Sanitation and hygiene training. Obviously, if they've never had clean water, they don't know about, for example, when COVID began, they said you're supposed to sing the happy birthday song as you wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. So I'm sure that there is a lot of training that goes into, by the way, you now have clean water. This is how you keep things hygienic. And then they also have strategic partnerships with other nonprofits and for profit companies to be able to go in and provide what they do. And here's a picture. I like this picture because of the personality of it and what it shows. But keep in mind, this is a family affair for a lot of these communities. Typically, you would see these kids in a school situation in America or other countries that have access to water. But for families to be able to gather enough for their family, that's what these little kids do, is they go and they help their family to be able to get their water. Together, we're going to see what it's like to walk with water. We're going to have our water walk, I told you, the very end of March in your PE classes. And then next month, we're going to do a shower strike to be able to provide a community in Africa with clean water. So we're going to see how well we can do and how many people we can provide clean water for. Remember last time we talked about our sustainable development goals. These are those goals, 17 goals from the UN, that their goal is by 2030 to be able to accomplish these goals. And remember this one this year, we're talking about goal number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. These are some of the dates from this year. This is a project that has been going on all year. In November, the 7th grade, Well Aware, their engineers made a science video. They were on the ground in Africa and made a science video for our 7th graders, so they saw that in their science classes. In December, for the 8th grade, community project kickoff, Well Aware also provided a video for us on philanthropy and the importance of giving back or service. This March and April is the 6th grade focus. We're going to be focusing on culture and clean water in sub-Saharan Africa. So 6th graders, look forward. You'll be getting some stuff from Well Aware this month and next month. March 22nd, remember, is World Water Day. April 22nd is Earth Day. And the 20th through the 26th, that's going to be when we do our shower strike in April. So again, more information will be coming the first part of April, but we're hoping that you guys will kind of catch the fever and want to be able to help someone halfway across the world. Well Aware says we focus on a ripple effect of impact. Our mission goes beyond drilling water wells. Clean water becomes a long-term anchor for community prosperity, enabling individuals and entire communities and future generations to thrive. And so how cool is it to be able to give someone something that they didn't have, and that their quality of life becomes so much better because of it? Our goal number 1 is to learn about the importance of clean water by participating in the water walk and the other lessons. Goal number 2, to fundraise for a water well in East Africa in April. So again, more is coming on that. And the goal number 3 is to understand that what you can accomplish locally here in Round Rock, Texas, can help others globally. This is at the heart of the IB program. This is what we want you guys to develop as IB students. So this is their picture for Shower Strike. Also, check out the WellAware website to learn more about that if you want to learn more about that now. So there is a link on here if you want to click on this if your teachers share the Google slide presentation with you. So that's it for today, Bulldogs. Thank you so much for being here with us. More information will come next month. So have a good one.